Today, we're going to discuss the recent case of a bad cop who was arrested for stomping on a man's head. This is a very serious incident that highlights the ongoing issue of state-sanctioned violence by police upon Black Americans. We'll take a closer look at what happened, the consequences that the police officer has faced, and what this means for the fight against police brutality. So without any further ado, let's get started. On July 26, 2021, Clarence Gaillard and his cousin DeMario Julian were walking home when David Lance Dukes, a South Carolina police officer, responded to reports that someone was nearby their location with a gun. Dukes and other officers approached them with guns drawn, and Gaillard attempted to get down to the ground as instructed. Hindered by previous leg and hip injuries, he took longer than the officers liked, and that's when Dukes appeared to stomp on Gaillard's head as his hands and knees were on the ground. According to the affidavit, Dukes arrived and ordered the man to the ground at gunpoint. While the man was on his hands and knees defenseless, Dukes raised his boot and stomped on the man's head and neck area. The force of the blow caused the man's head to strike the concrete, bruising his forehead. The man was transported to a hospital for treatment. The force of the blow caused Gaillard's head to strike the concrete, resulting in a contusion on his forehead. He was immediately transported to the hospital for treatment. After the incident occurred, department officials immediately began investigating the matter. They reviewed the body camera footage of the incident the morning after. Following the internal investigation, the department called in the State Law Enforcement Division, or SLED, to conduct an independent investigation. SLED's investigation determined that Dukes' actions were likely to produce death or great bodily injury, and he was taken into custody and charged with first-degree assault and battery. This is a clear case of police brutality, and it highlights the need for stricter accountability measures for police officers. Dukes was immediately fired following an investigation into the incident. The officer's firing was announced on July 30th during a news conference by city officials who stated that the officer acted outside the scope of department policies while responding to the report of a man with a gun. Dukes was taken into custody on July 31st and booked into the Orangeburg County Detention Center. He's been charged with first-degree assault and battery, and the consequences of his actions could see him facing a lengthy prison sentence. First Circuit Solicitor David Pascoe, the chief prosecutor of the area, attended Dukes' bond hearing on the morning of July 31st. He asked the judge to set a surety bond for Dukes and bar the former officer from possessing or being around firearms as a condition of his release. This case demonstrates that there are consequences for bad cops who abuse their power, and that the justice system is starting to take police brutality more seriously. The ongoing issue of police brutality against Black Americans is a serious problem that needs to be addressed. This case shows that there are still bad cops out there who are willing to use excessive force against unarmed and defenseless individuals. It also highlights the importance of accountability measures and the need for more widespread reform in the justice system. However, there is some hope. Cases like these are increasingly being brought to light, and public outrage is mounting. This could lead to more widespread reforms and stricter accountability measures for police officers. The Black Lives Matter movement has brought attention to this issue, and it sparked a much-needed conversation about police brutality and racial inequality in America. In conclusion, the case is a clear example of police brutality and abuse of power. It's essential that law enforcement agencies and policymakers take proactive steps to address these issues and work towards creating a more just and equitable society. And that about wraps up our video. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and if you did, please consider pressing the like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like these. Check out some of our other videos while you're at it, and we'll see you back here again for a new video.